Let's chat. Hi guys, it's Dustin. I have some ginger tea. No, ginger is not my choice of flavor for tea, but I am recovering from a cough. I'm pretty much all better now, but my voice still needs a little bit more healing, so drinking some ginger tea because my parents, growing up, they were always like, drink ginger tea. Ginger tea heals all. Why am I talking like I'm Southern? I'm from California. Ginger tea heals all. So I got myself some ginger tea. Even though this brand of tea I got from Target and it's not very good because it's not very strong. Usually I drink the Asian brand that my parents get. Honestly, my voice probably would have been completely better by now if I could learn to just shut up. But I can't. This past week I just kept singing and then forgetting that I didn't even have a voice, so nothing would come out. I'd be like, ah. And also I talked to myself. So I just did so much unnecessary mouth moving today. That was a weird way to phrase it. Anyways, I'm alone a lot. And for reference, last week I spent an entire day organizing my receipts and taxes while listening to Phoebe Bridgers. And I think that tells you all you need to know. Give you the moon. With that being said, let's talk about the art of being alone. 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 I gotta get out of here! Disclaimer, this does not mean I don't feel lonely at times. Loneliness has been one of the biggest mental health struggles that I've had to deal with these past few years. Recently, I just moved, so I've been spending a lot of time alone, a lot more than usual. And let me tell you, before, it was already a lot. And from this, I've found that I am learning and have gone way better at being alone. Out of all the advice that you might get from this video, my biggest one is going to events by yourself. These past few weeks, I've been doing things that you typically would do with other people, such as going to concerts or going to the movie theaters. I think these past few weeks, I went to 4 concerts alone, and I also went to the movie theaters to see The French Dispatch by myself. This is helpful because it forces you to change your mindset that you must do these things with other people. Who said that you can't go to a concert by yourself? Who said you can't go to the movies by yourself? Nobody. Alright? And obviously by doing these things alone, it teaches you how to be by yourself, how to entertain yourself, and it just makes you learn more about who you are. A side note, going to things alone is not bad or awkward at all. I went to my first concert ever alone a few weeks ago, and no one cares. Everyone is just minding their own business. They're either caring about themselves or their friends. They're paying attention to who they're seeing, if it's a concert or a movie. Most of the time, people won't even notice that you're alone. And if you start to feel insecure, just remember, you'll never see those bitches again. Not to mention, by going to events or doing things by yourself, you don't have to compromise. You can choose to do whatever you want, whenever you want. You don't have to compromise on what to do, who to see, when to leave, what food to eat. If you want to leave something early because you're tired, you can leave early. If you want to stay out the entire time, you can stay. There's no one there that you have to think about their feelings or anything. You can just think about yourself and be selfish. I wouldn't say selfish because I feel like caring about what you think and what you want is also important, but you can be, for lack of a better word, selfish. I think the reason why I've been doing this is because eventually I just got tired of waiting for people to come around. I realized if I wanted to start doing things and live life, I'm gonna have to start living life by myself or else I'll be held back. In the past, I always had to ask people if they wanted to go and then see if they even are interested, and then you have to see if they can even make it with their schedule, and then you guys have to wait around until they can respond to you, and then you have to plan it, and it's just such a complicated situation where you can avoid all that by just not asking anyone to go with you and just going to do it by yourself. This kind of is relevant, but not really. I learned that I can only depend on myself because no one cares more about me than me. I can only trust myself to pull through with something because I always know I will pull through for myself. And usually I'm just a type of person that always pulls through and follows through with their word. This might end up being an unhealthy mindset, but I think I've just been canceled on, disappointed, forgotten about, or told maybe too many times. The reason why I say this might be unhealthy is because I could potentially develop trust issues from thinking this way, especially because I'm already perfectionistic and like having control over most things already. It could probably end up bad. But it's not like I don't trust people right now, but also like maybe people should just not fail me. I don't know, man. If I want something done, I just know I have to do it myself. For example, I had to drive my own U-Haul when I was moving because everyone that I asked could not do it or could not pull through. So I was like, fuck it. I'm tired of asking people. I'm just gonna do it myself. Guess what? I fucking did it. Like a fucking girl boss. Except I'm not a girl boss. Yeah. I don't know if this is just me, but if someone tells me maybe if I invite them to something, I automatically register in my mind no. This is probably because growing up, my parents and my other family members, every time I would ask them if we want to go do something, they would always be like, maybe. But in reality, we would just never end up going to do that thing that I asked. I kind of just register maybe as kind of a cop-out. If you say maybe, you don't want to go. You're not 100% into it. I just correlate the word maybe very negatively. It's very rare for a maybe to turn into a yes. Speaking of disappointment, I would get disappointed by my own expectations. Specifically, my expectations of other people. Even though it's not totally the fault of others because they can't control everything, they can't control how they feel in the moment, we're all just living life. But sometimes when I'm hanging out with people and I'm around others, people's energies would disappoint me. Whether they're super negative or sad in the moment, or they're not as fun and high energy in the moment, or they're not feeling spontaneous. It would just disappoint me when their vibe, which I know I use the word vibe too much and I need to eventually remove that out of my vocabulary, their vibe would just be so disappointing. I think it, oh my, I just flipped my string into the T. All right. I don't think it helps that I'm usually super high energy and always spontaneous and down. Like if a friend invites me to something, I'll be there, say when. I find it very rare to find people who match me. Anyways, by being alone, I don't have to worry about others. Their energy won't affect me because they won't be there. I also like to match energies and make sure that people around me are having a good time as well. So when their energy is super low and it looks like they're not having a good time, that also affects me, where I will reciprocate the same thing. Or I'll try to make up for it by being even more high energy, trying to like bring them up. Very tiring and honestly annoying to have to do that. And I don't know why I force myself to do that, but I think it's just because I have this expectation in my brain and I want it to make it a reality. So I'm trying to make this person meet that expectation that I want and have. But by being alone, I can focus on myself and make my own expectations happen because I'm really the only person that can do that for myself. For example, this is so random, but I had a phase where I loved laying in the rain. But if I wanted to go lay in the rain, but my friends aren't feeling it, they don't want to get their clothes wet and dirty, and they're kind of just killing the vibe, I can just go do that by myself and make my want and my expectation happen. Hopefully that makes sense. We can't talk about the art of being alone without talking about love and romance and relationships. Whoa. I completely understand why people want to be in a relationship, but sometimes I feel like people only want a relationship so that they can have someone that's consistently in their life that they can see. Someone that they can always hang out with and spend all their free time with, and so that they can be someone's number one person and someone's favorite person. But the thing is, you should be your own favorite person. I think it's unhealthy to build this dependence on another person to be with you all the time, and I think that's just a very unhealthy relationship. You should be able to spend time by yourself and not feel the need to always have your significant other around you. I totally get it though. I can see myself unknowingly doing that as well and just finding comfort in a significant other and wanting them to be around me all the time and spending all my time with them so I wouldn't be by myself and bored and then having to deal with my thoughts. I feel like people forget that there are positives with being single, and they don't appreciate being single enough. I'm not gonna lie, that's me sometimes. But there are positives, such as the freedom of just living your life without having to always think about another person, such as making time to spend with them, inviting them to things, when you're going somewhere, letting them know, just giving them updates of your life in general. It's a commitment, quite literally. You're in a committed relationship. Unless you're not monogamous, then you do you. I haven't really been looking for love or a relationship. I thought after moving out of my small little suburb to the grand old big city of Los Angeles, I would have so many options to date and find a relationship and fall in love, but nope. It's been about 3 months. Literally nothing. But also, I haven't really been looking. The thought of relationships and love has not really been crossing my mind, which is honestly refreshing because my entire teenage years, I feel like I've always thought about love, even if it was just like a tiny thought in the back of my head. It would always just be there, and I'd just constantly be looking for it and longing for it. I'm honestly feeling pretty content right now with just being alone and being by myself. Obviously, if something comes along, that would be nice, but I'm okay. That is the art of being alone, baby. I swear. I didn't want to make this video and just have it be me preaching the benefits of being alone and how you should be alone. I think that's not realistic, and I've seen way too many YouTubers who make videos about being by yourself and being alone and taking yourself on dates and such, romanticizing being alone and the idea to the point where I think it can become toxic and deceitful. And I just didn't really want to contribute to what I call this glorified independence. Even though for the most part I had a good time going to the concerts and going to the movies alone and stuff. A negative, for example, if you go to the movies alone, afterwards you kind of just get this feeling, at least I do, when you walk back to your car, turn on your car, and you just sit there and you want to talk about the movie, but you have no one to talk about it with. So you do feel this little bit of loneliness afterwards. And personally, I value time with my friends and my family and with other people so much. And when I do things alone, I don't really make any fond memories. When I think back on my memories and reminisce on good times, happy memories in general, it's always memories with other people. And with these concerts I've been going to and the movies, they aren't memories that will forever be engraved in my brain. They were just okay, average experiences. When I went to the concerts, yeah, I had a good time, I guess, but I felt like it would have been more fun if other people were with me. Then it would have been a memory that I would remember forever if I had like my friends there and we were all having fun together, except it was just me alone listening to music, which is still enjoyable, but it's just not special enough for me. But maybe that's just something I need to work on still. I think I have being by myself kind of down. Now I need to work on having fun with just myself. I saw this TikTok of this girl driving home from the movies sobbing, and she was just talking about how she's trying so hard to practice loving being alone, and she takes herself on a movie date every month, but she was just sobbing in this video because she said it's just getting too tiring and it's so hard to convince herself. I was reading the comments and they were saying how they feel the same way and how it just gets hard when at the end of the movies, like, you have no one to talk to. And it was just a really sad video and honestly very relatable for me. Being alone isn't this amazing thing. It's just kind of a thing that I think is important, but it's all about balance. All in all, my final thoughts, it's all about balance. Being alone for specifically a very long period of time is not sustainable. You can try your hardest to be okay with being alone, but after a while, you will get lonely. We are humans. We are sociable creatures. We need social interaction and to see other people. Balance. Balance, baby. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to say. I'm gonna go now. I'm actually going to a concert by myself once again. Except this time, it's my friend's concert. She's opening for another artist. So hopefully I will be able to not be alone the entire time, but we'll see. Okay, bye guys. Are we singing the outro song right now? Yeah? Okay. Was this something I said? Oh, fuck.